Hey everybody, it's been a while since I checked in, so I wanted to hang out for a few minutes today and give you some updates on the new place. All on episode 112 of Got It Made. Let's get started. I've had this building for 3 weeks now, and what do I have to show for it? Not a lot, but I'll explain that in a few minutes. A couple things that I do have to show for it is I went ahead and took the floor up. If you remember, there was this vinyl locked together laminate floor in here. I got the flooring pulled up, and I had hoped that once I got the floor up that it would reveal this gorgeous unscathed 30-year-old concrete floor, but that wasn't to be. What I found was at some point in the past they had put vinyl down, and all this brown that you see in the background, that's glue, and that's got to come up. And then I also tore out, there used to be a stage over here. If you remember in the first video, there's a stage, there was a stage right there. And interestingly, underneath the stage was this gorgeous 30-year-old oxide red floor, and I wish the whole thing would have been that way, but it wasn't. So I tore the stage out, and what did I find in the stage? I didn't find treasure, no, I found termites. So I don't have any experience with termites. Luckily, I know a lot of you all, and my buddy David told me exactly how to deal with the termites, which really involved having a professional come out and do it. Got the termite situation resolved, and I'm really glad for that. Why don't I have more to show for the last 3 weeks than the couple things I just mentioned? Well, I really do, but they're harder to see, and they're a little bit behind the curtain. I knew that it would be slow going. I knew that I would just really have to get the building and get inside and pull up a chair and sit and look around and think and kind of develop and mature a vision for this building. Once I kind of got that crafted in my mind, the next step was to figure out what's the plan, how to make this happen. And one of the first steps in that is get the building permit. And you know, that took a little time. It was a little frustrating. I'm trying to play by the rules here. I'm not trying to sneak anything through. I just don't want to deal with that and the consequences that can come from that. The municipality here has been good to me. I'm going to try to be good back to them and, you know, not do anything I shouldn't do. But getting the building permit, you know, it took a little time. It was a little frustrating, and playing by the rules oftentimes means that there are a few hoops you have to jump through. But last Thursday, I got this shiny piece of paper. I just want to covet it a little bit. So I have the building permit now. Now, what do I do now from here? Well, this coming week, I will spend this time kind of sourcing and getting the materials that I need and getting that stuff out here. And then my hope is the following week to start on some of the renovation. What is the renovation? You know, one of the things that I want to do here is kind of gussy up the front of this building. It's not a real pretty building. And you hear the road traffic. This is a very busy highway, which is good for me. I want to be able to capture some of that traffic. But I need to make this building look a little more inviting. So what I've decided to do, before I bought the building, I knew these windows that I'm looking at were in bad shape. So I had that quoted, and to replace just the glass on these windows, it was, you know, about $6,000. And I had it quoted twice, and it was about the same. I'm not crazy about the windows. I'm not crazy about that price, so why not just take them out? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these windows out. I'm going to frame this up. I'll put a couple windows. I think I'm going to put 3 windows in here so I can have some natural light. But I'm going to change completely the facade here of this building, and I'm going to wrap it all the way around. I'm going to move the entrance from the side to the front and just really change the look here. The other part of the renovation has to do, if you watched the episode 1, Souls to Sawdust, when I was in the lobby to my right here, I want to open up a wall to go into the adjacent classroom to give a little more space for the retail shop. That's not a huge project, but You know, that's something that has to be done. What else? The lighting package in here, it's horrible, and I knew that would have to be addressed. A lot of people that I know that create the content on YouTube are using American green lights, and why not? So I started working with them a little bit, and I like the way they do it. They take your floor plan, you know, I showed them what the floor plan looked like in here, where I would probably be placing equipment, and they like scientifically computer model it and stuff, and figure out exactly the kind of lighting you had. One of the caveats that I gave them is I want to be able to set my camera up anywhere in here and have good lighting and not have to fuss with the settings on the camera, because I don't understand all that stuff. So content and video is very important. So they developed a lighting package in here, 26 LED lights. This is like bug zapper tier. And we worked all that out, got those ordered, and I received those last week. So I've got all those lights sitting in here. I won't start on that probably until we tackle the front of the building. But so lighting package, so I was working on that. And I've got my plan for the front, I've got my lighting package going, and so now I feel like I have a plan to start, showing some incremental, tangible progress on this building. What else have I accomplished? Well, I got my internet put in, and that's always important when you want to upload episodes of Got It Made. Got my internet in. I've also met with the power company and a couple of different electricians to help me identify what my power needs really are here and develop a plan for that. So we've got that plan in place, and the electrical upgrades will be part of this overall renovation. Among all these things that I've been working on, I have been fortunate to have a couple of opportunities to have like some paying work for a change. Since the pandemic, man, it's been pretty lean, but it seems like some of that's starting to course correct a little bit. So I've had a couple of things to do. In fact, last weekend, I guess, I put out a video. If you haven't watched it, I hope you do. Short video. I made a sign for a beachfront home in Topsail Island, North Carolina. So that was a pretty good one. And I've had a couple other things. So I've been working in my shop a little bit, spending most of my time up here. And there's been a day or two that I've helped at the makerspace. So, it's like I said, it's been a little bit lean, but I've been really fortunate. I've had a lot of you all have helped me, and honestly, Jenny's helped me an awful lot during this time of the deficits that I'm creating. But we knew it was going to be that way, and that'll correct itself soon enough. The world will improve, I hope, and then I'll get this going, and then I'll just be filthy rich. I don't want to be filthy rich. Here's what I want. And my banker asked me this when I was going through the process of this. They said, how much do you want to make out of this building? And I said, I want to identify how much I need, and then a smidge more. And he asked me, he said, how much is a smidge? I said, it's a little more than a tad. So, I want, that's my goal with this season of my life, is to have enough and then just a tad more or a smidge more. So hopefully we'll get to that point again soon enough, but still got a few miles to travel before we get there. There's a couple of things I'm really excited about for the store in here. I've mentioned before that Nathan from Out of the Woods Forestry, are partnering to be able to sell his lumber in my store, and I'm pretty excited about being able to have hardwood lumber and slabs for sale in here. And I think he's excited to have a place, to sell it at. But even better than that, we're going to have dimension lumber. And, if you remember back when you first started woodworking, and, your only access to dimension lumber would be to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy some old crappy pine or some way overpriced oak, red oak. And that was about your only access. If you wanted some lumber, or if you wanted some cherry or some walnut, maybe a sawmill might sell it to you, but it's not dimensioned. But I don't have an expensive planer and jointer, and how do I do? It was just always discouraging to me when I first started woodworking. And I want to be able to help people like that by having dimensioned lumber for sale. And I think that might be a game changer here because, it's about anywhere you go, it's kind of hard to access not only dimensioned lumber, but really any hardwood lumber. It's oftentimes very hard to access. So we'll be having that, and I'm really, really happy about that. I think it's going to help some people. Another product that I'm really excited about that'll be sold and shipped out of this building is a product that was around for a while, and then it hasn't been around for a while, and it's about to be resurrected. It's a product that I think offers a lot of utility to a hobbyist or a woodworker or even a contractor. It's not a product that I can make. It's a product that has to be manufactured, and the manufacturing of that product is going to take place in Bristol, Tennessee now. I'm not trying to be too shady or super secret about it, but today is probably not the day to talk about it, but that day will be coming really soon because last week I signed a purchase order to get started on another manufacturing run of this product, be made here in Bristol, Tennessee. I've been so incredibly fortunate to have so many people help me on this project, and people who want to work with me and collaborate with me and partner with me. I just don't know what to say. It's just blows my mind. And this is an example of one of those kinds of collaborations and partnerships. So, what else will come in this store? I don't know, we'll see what develops, but these two things are going to give me, a really good launching pad, a good boost off the deep end for my retail store, and I'm just beyond excited about it. The world is such a strange place right now. I don't recognize anything anymore, and I think about all the people who are suffering either from the illness or from the effects of the pandemic and the shutdown and the isolation, and it's just very weird. We all just want it to go back to normal, and I'm trying to find some semblance of order in my life. Like last night, Jenny and I went to dinner, and we had an okay enough dinner, but I wanted to do some of the things we used to do and like walk around town in Bristol, and it was just very weird. And we went up to the rooftop bar on the Bristol Hotel, one of my favorite things to do, and because you can look out over the edge and you can see like the Bristol sign. And there's always people up there for me to talk to and strangers to meet. And I'm a showman, and I'm in my element. I like to be around people and be a showman and hug people and shake hands and chunk people on the shoulder. And I can't do any of that right now. And last night was the same way. I keep thinking that better days are just around the corner. I just don't know how many blocks we have to walk to get there. But I do hope that all of you are healthy and safe, and I hope that everybody you care about is healthy and safe, and I'm charging you to keep it that way. I'm going to try to do my part. I guess I need to wrap up for now. I'll check back in a couple of weeks when I have more to show, but I've got a lot to do next week, and Friday I've got to have a root canal. I didn't talk about this, but the day before I closed on this building, I came down with the most horrible toothache. I never get toothaches, and I ended up having an abscess. I've never had that before either. I've never had really dental problems at all, but then trying to get in to see a dentist during a pandemic is tough. So I've got to have a root canal on Friday, and I'm just really, really looking forward to that. So probably won't check in next weekend. I'll be grumpy. But listen, I'm going to wrap up for now. I appreciate everybody watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.